the hidden formula to mastering success, why excellence is your secret weapon. Welcome to Success Lesson, where we uncover the power behind every breakthrough and unlock the secrets that will elevate your life to new heights. Today, I want to ask you a question. What does it take to truly stand out in the world? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly rise to the top while others struggle to make any headway? The answer is simpler than you might think, and it's not what you've been told. Imagine for a moment you're someone who works tirelessly, putting in effort day after day. But no matter how much you give, you seem stuck, unable to break through that invisible ceiling. It's as if there's some elusive key to success that everyone else has, but not you. Why does that happen? The truth is, effort alone is never enough. You see, excellence isn't something that happens overnight. It's not an accident, and it's not reserved for a select few. It's a process, one that requires more than just working hard. Excellence is the result of constant self-reflection, a never-ending quest to improve, to do better, and to break your own limits. But here's the catch. It's not just about being good at something, it's about being exceptional at it. Why does excellence matter so much? Because it creates opportunities you can't even imagine right now. When you become exceptional in your field, you don't just gain respect, you attract unlimited opportunities. You become the go-to person, the expert, the one everyone wants to collaborate with. People don't just look for good anymore. They want the best. Excellence is the key to unlocking doors that are otherwise closed to the average person. So here's a startling truth you need to hear. Success is not reserved for the lucky, the born talented, or the connected. It's for those who can master the simple but powerful formula that anyone can follow, no matter their circumstances. And that formula is effort combined with reflection. Let me ask you this. How often do you stop to evaluate your progress? Do you merely work hard, or do you take the time to think about how you're working and why it's working or not working? Excellence requires more than just doing the work. It demands thinking deeply about your actions, learning from your mistakes, and always striving to do better tomorrow than you did today. Without this critical self-reflection, you're doomed to repeat the same mistakes and get stuck in a loop of mediocrity. This might sound like a lot, but the truth is, once you truly understand this concept, you'll realize that excellence doesn't have to be complicated. It's about doing the little things, doing them well, doing them consistently, and doing them with purpose. And here's the most powerful thing about excellence. It's a choice. You can decide right now that you're going to pursue excellence in everything you do. But here's where it gets tricky. Excellence doesn't come without obstacles. On your journey, you'll face countless challenges. There will be times when you want to quit. There will be times when you think it's not worth it. But that's when the real test begins. What separates those who reach the top from those who remain stuck is their ability to persevere, to stand up after every failure and keep moving forward. The road to excellence is not a smooth one, but it is the only path that leads to true success. I want you to understand something very important. The moment you choose to persist, no matter what happens, is the moment you start shaping your destiny. Success isn't just about talent or hard work. It's about resilience. It's about doing the work even when the results aren't immediate, even when it feels like you're running in circles. Persistence is your secret weapon, and only those who master it can unlock their potential and become truly exceptional. So, what will it take to get started? The first step is simple. Don't wait for perfection. If you wait for the perfect moment, for everything to fall into place, you'll never begin. Take the first step right now, even if you feel like you're not ready. The perfect time is always the one you create, and the first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, you'll find that the rest becomes easier, little by little, day by day. And I promise you this, the more steps you take, the more momentum you'll build, and soon you'll be so far ahead that you won't recognize the person you once were. Excellence is a choice, and once you make that choice, your entire life will shift in ways you can't even imagine right now. So, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Success Lesson right now so you don't miss out on the next steps to achieving excellence. Each video is designed to help you unlock your full potential and become the person you were always meant to be. Let's get started on this journey together, because excellence starts now, and it starts with you. Quick reflection question. When faced with a challenge, do you A. Push through without reflecting on your actions or results? B. Take a moment to reflect on your approach and look for ways to improve? Let us know your answer in the comments below. Share your thoughts and interact with our community. Together, we'll continue to grow and achieve greatness. The power of effort and reflection in achieving excellence. The journey to excellence is not simply about working hard. It is about working smart, with purpose, and constantly evaluating and adjusting your approach. Many people underestimate the transformative power of reflection in their path to greatness. They often believe that more effort, more hours, and more dedication will eventually lead to success. But without the critical element of reflection, hard work can only take you so far. Reflection is the missing link between working tirelessly and achieving something truly exceptional. Imagine this. You are pushing yourself every day, giving your best, putting in long hours, and focusing all your energy into your work. Yet, despite your relentless effort, you feel like you are not moving forward. Why does this happen? The reason is simple. Hard work without reflection is like running in place. You are expending energy, but not advancing toward your true potential. Reflection is the key to understanding where your efforts are going wrong, what areas need improvement, and how you can shift your strategy to get closer to your goals. Reflection allows you to gain clarity. It's a powerful tool that helps you evaluate the effectiveness of your actions, recognize your strengths, and pinpoint areas for growth. It gives you the ability to step back and observe yourself, to break free from the routine of simply going through the motions. Without reflection, you are essentially blind to the opportunities for improvement right in front of you. But when you reflect, you unlock the potential to refine your approach, innovate your processes, and ultimately make your hard work count for something greater. Hard work is necessary. It is the fuel that drives you forward. But without reflection, that fuel is inefficient. You may be putting in a lot of effort, but you could be heading in the wrong direction, or perhaps your efforts are not optimized. Reflection is what helps you navigate, ensuring that your hard work is always aligned with your goals. It's about taking time to analyze what worked and what didn't, and then using that knowledge to adapt your strategy. This constant cycle of effort and reflection is what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. You don't need to wait for a major failure to reflect. Small, everyday moments provide opportunities to assess your actions and adjust your approach. Every task you complete, every conversation you have, every decision you make is a chance to reflect and improve. Take a moment after each task to ask yourself, what did I do well? What can I do better next time? What did I learn from this experience? These questions help you become more aware of your progress and more conscious of the ways you can grow. This awareness, this continual refinement, is the foundation of excellence. Reflection isn't always easy, and it's not always comfortable. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, mistakes, and failures. It asks you to step outside of your comfort zone and challenge your own assumptions. But it's exactly this discomfort that fuels growth. If you can look at your failures not as setbacks, but as lessons, you will begin to see them as stepping stones to success. Reflecting on what went wrong and why it happened gives you the insight you need to prevent the same mistakes in the future. It empowers you to make better choices, try new things, and push past your limitations. The more you embrace this process, the more capable you become. The beauty of reflection lies in its ability to unlock innovation. When you take the time to assess your actions, you often come across new ways to improve your work. Reflection is a breeding ground for creativity, as it forces you to think critically about what is working and what isn't. With every reflection, you are not only fine-tuning your actions, but also challenging yourself to be more innovative, to break old habits, and to find new, more efficient ways of doing things. However, reflection alone will not lead to excellence. You must take action based on the insights you gain. It's easy to reflect and make mental notes of what needs to be improved, but if you don't make the necessary changes and adjustments, the reflection becomes meaningless. Action is the bridge between self-awareness and tangible results. Reflection without action is merely daydreaming. You must take what you've learned and apply it in real life. Otherwise, your growth will be stunted. For example, after reflecting on a mistake or a missed opportunity, it's crucial to change your behavior or strategy moving forward. If you simply acknowledge the problem but don't make an effort to improve, you are allowing yourself to remain stuck. Reflection is only effective when followed by action. Every change you make, every step you take based on reflection, gets you closer to the version of yourself that is capable of achieving excellence. The combination of effort and reflection is what creates a feedback loop that drives you forward. You work hard, reflect on your progress, make adjustments, and then work harder with the new insights you've gained. This cycle of continuous improvement allows you to build momentum. You'll find that the more you reflect and act, the more natural it becomes. You begin to work smarter, not harder, optimizing your energy and efforts in a way that brings you closer to your ultimate goals. And as you continue this process, something remarkable happens. You start to develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed over time with dedication and effort. When you reflect on your mistakes and failures with a growth mindset, you view them as opportunities to learn rather than signs of inadequacy. You start to see challenges not as barriers, but as chances to improve and expand your skills. This mindset shifts how you approach life and work, making it easier to embrace new challenges, try new things, and stretch beyond your comfort zone. The key is to make reflection a habit, a regular practice that becomes ingrained in your daily routine. Whether it's taking a few minutes at the end of each day or setting aside time each week for a more in-depth review, reflection should become a non-negotiable part of your journey toward excellence. And as you make it a habit, you'll find that the insights you gain from reflection will become more valuable, guiding you toward better decisions and helping you become more intentional in your actions. Ultimately, reflection is not about being hard on yourself. It's about being honest and constructive. It's about recognizing where you can improve and committing to making those improvements, no matter how small they may seem. It's about learning to embrace failure, not as something to avoid, but as a necessary part of the process of achieving excellence. Every time you reflect, you are learning more about yourself and the world around you. This understanding is what allows you to adapt, grow, and continue moving forward on your path to greatness. So, in conclusion, the path to excellence is not about working harder than everyone else, it's about working smarter. And that means integrating both effort and reflection. With effort, you take action. With reflection, you learn from your experiences and improve. This dynamic duo is the key to unlocking your full potential, reaching your goals, and becoming the best version of yourself. Keep reflecting, keep adjusting, and keep growing, because excellence is not a destination. It's a process, one that you can continuously improve step by step every single day. Reflection question. When facing a challenge, do you A, dive in and continue without reassessing your approach? B, take a moment to reflect on your actions and make adjustments as needed? Let us know your answer in the comments below and share your thoughts on how reflection can shape our path to success. The struggles along the path to success, overcoming obstacles, and persevering through adversity. Success is rarely a straight line. It is often a winding road, filled with challenges, setbacks, and failures. But these very obstacles are what shape the journey and define those who truly reach excellence. If you were to ask anyone who has achieved significant success in their life or career, they would tell you that it wasn't the smooth moments, but rather the moments of difficulty that taught them the most. The journey to excellence is not easy, but it is in the face of adversity that you find your true potential. The most important thing you must learn is that obstacles are not roadblocks. They are the stepping stones that will take you higher than you ever imagined. When you set out to achieve something great, you will inevitably face moments of doubt and frustration. You will encounter failure, missteps, and situations that seem insurmountable. At times, it will feel like the universe is conspiring against you, that no matter how hard you work, success remains just out of reach. But this is the moment when you can choose to persevere or to give up. The decision you make in these moments will determine the outcome of your journey. What sets successful people apart from those who fall short is their ability to face setbacks with resilience and determination. The truth is, success is not a destination. It is a process. It's about continuing to push forward, even when the path is unclear, even when it feels like every step forward is met with 2 steps back. Those who achieve excellence are the ones who keep going, not because they never face adversity, but because they know how to navigate through it. Think about the great figures in history, whether they were entrepreneurs, athletes, or artists. Almost every single one of them faced monumental obstacles that could have derailed their journey. Yet, they pressed on. They understood that setbacks weren't permanent failures, but part of the process of growth. Every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to emerge stronger. These people knew that failure is not the end. It is merely part of the path to success. The challenge, however, is learning how to manage these obstacles when they arise. It is easy to stay motivated when things are going well, when progress is visible, and when success feels imminent. But when you are in the thick of a struggle, when every attempt seems to fail, that's when the true test of character begins. The key is in how you respond to adversity. Do you allow frustration to paralyze you? Do you give in to doubt and walk away from your dreams? Or do you use each failure as a springboard to take your next step forward? Resilience is built in moments of difficulty. It's not something that magically appears when you need it most. It's a muscle that you build through repeated exposure to hardship and challenge. When you face a setback, your first reaction might be to feel defeated, to want to quit. But the real power comes when you refuse to stay down. Each time you get back up, you are forging the resilience that will carry you through the next challenge. Resilience doesn't mean never feeling discouraged. It means not letting that discouragement stop you from moving forward. The path to excellence is not about avoiding obstacles. It's about learning how to move through them. It's about understanding that difficulty is inevitable, but so is progress. In fact, it's often the most difficult paths that lead to the greatest rewards. Think about the most challenging times in your own life. At the time, it may have felt like you would never overcome the obstacles in your way. But looking back, you can see that those moments were the ones that made you stronger, that made you who you are today. When you face challenges, you can either choose to grow from them, or you can allow them to defeat you. Growth comes from pushing through adversity, not from avoiding it. It's about understanding that the hardest times often bring the biggest breakthroughs. The key to unlocking success is not simply hard work. It is the ability to keep working even when the journey becomes difficult. It's about developing the mindset that setbacks are just setups for comebacks. Overcoming obstacles requires a mindset shift. It requires you to stop viewing failure as something to be feared, and instead see it as a necessary part of the journey. It requires you to be introspective, to look at why things didn't work, and to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? This mindset will give you the courage to move forward, no matter how many times you've fallen. The most successful people in history were not those who had no failures, but those who were willing to keep going despite them. In addition to resilience, you also need patience. Success doesn't happen overnight. Excellence is not the result of a quick fix. It's the product of long-term commitment, effort, and overcoming repeated challenges. Patience is crucial in this process. It allows you to stay the course, even when things seem to move slowly or when results are not immediate. It's easy to give up when the payoff seems distant, but success requires the ability to stay focused on the bigger picture, to keep your eyes on the long-term goals and trust that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to success. One of the most important lessons in overcoming adversity is understanding that you are never alone in your struggles. Everyone faces challenges. No one achieves greatness without going through difficult times. When you are in the midst of adversity, it can feel isolating, but you are not the only one. Many successful people have walked this path before you, and their stories of perseverance should inspire you to keep moving forward. As you continue on your path to excellence, remember that challenges are not meant to break you. They are meant to strengthen you. Every time you encounter an obstacle, you are given a chance to build the qualities that will define your success: resilience, patience, determination, and courage. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it as a stepping stone on the road to greatness. Ultimately, it's not the challenges that define you, it's how you respond to them. Choose to respond with strength, with determination, and with the unwavering belief that you can overcome anything in your way. Every obstacle you overcome brings you one step closer to your true potential. So, when the road gets tough, keep going. When the path is unclear, keep moving forward. Your journey to excellence is waiting for you on the other side of adversity. Success isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. The obstacles you face are not signs of failure. They are the opportunities that will shape you into the person capable of achieving your dreams. Stay resilient, stay patient, and most importantly, keep moving forward, because the best is yet to come. Taking action, the first step toward excellence. The most powerful moment in the pursuit of excellence is not when you decide what your goals will be, or even when you create a plan. It is the moment you take the first step. Many people wait for the perfect conditions before they take action. They wait for the right time, the right resources, or the perfect circumstances. But in reality, the perfect moment never arrives. The truth is, there is no perfect time to start. The only time you have is now. The greatest obstacle many people face on their journey to excellence is procrastination. They get stuck in the planning phase, endlessly analyzing their goals, trying to perfect their strategies, or waiting for an ideal moment to begin. But this delay only builds more doubt, fear, and uncertainty, preventing them from making real progress. Action is the antidote to this paralysis. The key to unlocking your potential lies in the courage to take that first step, even when you're unsure, even when the path is unclear. Success doesn't come from perfection or a flawless plan. It comes from consistent action, from stepping forward, one small step at a time, even when you're uncertain about what's ahead. Excellence is not the result of a single grand gesture. It's the result of the small, consistent actions you take day in and day out. Imagine for a moment that you have a mountain to climb. The summit seems far away, and the journey appears daunting. You could stand at the base, looking at the peak, overwhelmed by the distance. Or you could choose to take the first step. It might not seem significant at first, but with every step, the summit becomes closer. The act of moving forward, no matter how small, creates momentum. And soon you find that the climb is not as intimidating as it once seemed. This is the power of action. It transforms uncertainty into progress and fear into courage. Taking the first step doesn't mean having everything figured out. It means starting where you are with what you have. It means committing to the process, knowing that you'll adjust, learn, and grow as you go. The key is not waiting for everything to fall into place, but trusting that as you act, the path will unfold. By taking action, you make progress, and in that progress, you learn. And it's through learning that you achieve excellence. One of the most transformative lessons in any journey is that you will never know everything up front. There is no magic formula, no secret code that will give you all the answers before you begin. Often, it's only through action that you uncover the next step. When you begin, you'll face challenges and you'll have to make decisions along the way, but every challenge is an opportunity to grow. The more you act, the more experience you gain, and the more refined your process becomes. Action doesn't just take you toward your goals. It shapes the person you become on that journey. Consider the fact that progress often doesn't look like progress at first. There will be moments when you wonder if you're headed in the right direction. You might feel like you're moving slowly, or like your actions aren't yielding immediate results. But this is part of the process. The difference between those who achieve excellence and those who fall short is that the former keep moving, even when the progress is invisible, because they understand that success is built on cumulative, small efforts over time. One of the reasons why so many people fail to take action is because they fear failure. The fear of making mistakes or not being good enough can be paralyzing. But here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy of success, it is a part of it. Every successful person has encountered failure at some point in their journey. The difference is that they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as a tool for learning. The only true failure is the failure to try. Every time you take action, you learn something new about yourself. You learn what works and what doesn't, what drives you and what holds you back. And with this knowledge, you can adjust your approach, get better, and move closer to excellence. The key is to see every misstep as a stepping stone, not a setback. The process of trial and error is the backbone of growth and mastery. The more you try, the more you learn, and the closer you come to realizing your potential. Another powerful aspect of taking action is that it builds confidence. Action gives you proof that you can make things happen. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are in control of your future. Confidence is a muscle that grows stronger the more you use it. By taking small actions consistently, you begin to develop the belief that you are capable of accomplishing great things, even if it feels daunting at first. It's this confidence that drives you to keep moving forward, to take bigger risks, and to push through challenges. If you're unsure of where to begin, start with something simple. Break your larger goal into smaller, more manageable tasks, and take one step toward it every day. Don't wait until you feel ready, because honestly, you'll never feel fully ready. It's the act of doing, the act of moving forward, that makes you ready. Each step you take is a step closer to your goal, and before long, those small steps will add up to monumental progress. Sometimes the biggest barrier to action is the fear of judgment or failure in the eyes of others. But here's a powerful truth. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. Don't let the fear of what others think stop you from taking that first step. Everyone who has ever achieved greatness has had to silence the voices of doubt, whether from others or from within themselves. You are the author of your own journey, and the first step is always the hardest, but it is also the most crucial. Remember, action breeds clarity. The more you act, the clearer your path becomes. Each step you take unveils new opportunities and new challenges, but it also brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. The journey to excellence is not about perfection. It is about progress, and progress requires action. In the end, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones don't wait. They act. They take that first step, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when the road ahead seems unclear. They trust that by moving forward, they will figure out the rest. And most importantly, they understand that action is the key that unlocks the doors to greatness. So what are you waiting for? Take that first step. Start now. Don't wait for everything to be perfect, because perfection doesn't exist. The journey to excellence begins with the courage to act, and that courage is within you right now. The mindset of success, finding purpose in work you don't love. One of the most profound and challenging questions in the pursuit of excellence is this: can you truly succeed in something you don't love? It's a question that many of us grapple with at some point in our lives, especially when we find ourselves in a job or situation that doesn't ignite the same passion we dream of. But here's the reality: you can achieve greatness even in work that you don't love, if you know how to approach it with the right mindset. It's easy to believe that success comes only when we are deeply passionate about what we do, when our hearts are fully invested in every project. We hear stories of people who found their calling, who followed their dreams, and achieved success by doing what they loved. But the truth is, the majority of us won't find that dream job right away. And even if we do, it might not always stay as fulfilling as we once imagined. The key to lasting success isn't about loving every aspect of your work. It's about finding purpose and meaning in the process. When you're stuck in a job or situation that doesn't fuel your passion, it's easy to become disillusioned. You may feel like your work doesn't matter, or that it's just a means to an end, leading to burnout and dissatisfaction. But here's the thing: your attitude and approach can transform even the most mundane tasks into opportunities for growth. Excellence isn't about how much you enjoy your work, it's about how you approach it, how you bring your best self to whatever it is you're doing. The first step in shifting your perspective is to understand that every job has value, even if it isn't your ultimate dream. Think about it. Every task, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a chance to practice something, whether it's discipline, focus, or time management. Even in work you don't love, you can find ways to improve, to make the work more meaningful by learning new skills, honing old ones, or finding a way to contribute in a way that aligns with your greater purpose. This shift in mindset requires you to adopt a growth mentality, the understanding that you can grow and learn in any situation. Instead of focusing on what you don't enjoy, try focusing on what you can learn and how you can develop from your current circumstances. Every challenge in work that you don't love is an opportunity to develop resilience, problem-solving skills, and creativity. These qualities will serve you well not just in your current job, but in whatever comes next. When you shift your focus from dissatisfaction to learning and growth, the work itself begins to feel less like a burden and more like a chance to level up. This is where purpose becomes a powerful tool. Even if your current work doesn't align perfectly with your passion, you can find meaning by aligning it with your larger goals. Ask yourself, what is the bigger picture here? What skills do I need to develop in order to move closer to where I want to be? And how can I make the most of this moment? One of the most powerful realizations is that passion follows action. Often, we assume that passion is something we find before we start working, that it's something we fall into. But in reality, passion is often built through the work itself. The more you immerse yourself in something, the more you start to understand its nuances, and the more satisfaction you gain from it. Passion is nurtured through time, dedication, and effort. When you focus on the quality of your work and your commitment to excellence, your passion for it will grow, whether it's for your current job or the work you will eventually pursue. This isn't to say that passion isn't important. Of course it is. But there is something incredibly powerful about persistence and dedication in the face of challenges. When you keep going, even when the work feels less exciting, you start to build the muscle of grit, the ability to keep moving forward despite obstacles, setbacks, or lack of immediate reward. This is the kind of inner strength that makes excellence not just possible, but inevitable. For those who find themselves working in something they don't love, success lies in the ability to keep showing up. This means being consistent, dedicated, and always bringing your best, no matter how unglamorous the task might seem. It's about finding joy in the small victories, the completion of a difficult task, the improvement of a skill, or the feeling of growth. These moments of accomplishment will add up, and over time, you will realize that you are not just working to get by, you are creating something of value, something worth celebrating, even if it's not your dream job. The other critical element to succeeding in work you don't love is developing a strong sense of self-discipline. When you are passionate about something, it's easy to stay motivated. But when your work doesn't ignite that spark, you must cultivate discipline. This is where the real test of character comes in. The ability to show up consistently, put in the effort, and stay focused despite external distractions is the hallmark of someone who is committed to long-term success. Self-discipline allows you to push through when you don't feel like it. And it's what ultimately makes excellence possible, even in situations that don't initially inspire you. Another key to finding success in work you don't love is understanding the power of personal responsibility. You cannot rely on others to bring meaning or passion into your work. You must be the one who takes ownership of your actions, your attitude, and your growth. No matter where you are in your career or your life, you have the power to shape your journey. If your current job isn't fulfilling, don't wait for someone to change it for you. Take the reins and use it as an opportunity to sharpen your skills, connect with others, or find ways to create meaning in your everyday tasks. The beauty of this approach is that it applies to every area of your life. When you approach any challenge with a mindset of growth and purpose, you start to shift your entire worldview. Work becomes not just a way to earn money, but a means of personal development, an opportunity to build resilience, and a way to contribute to something larger than yourself. Even when you are doing work that isn't directly aligned with your dreams, you are still on a journey towards something greater. And that is the essence of success. In conclusion, success in work you don't love doesn't require waiting for a passion to appear. It requires cultivating discipline, responsibility, and a growth mindset. You can succeed anywhere as long as you approach each task with the intention to learn, grow, and contribute. Success in these circumstances is not just about what you accomplish, it's about the person you become along the way. By showing up every day with persistence, resilience, and dedication, you build a foundation that will support your dreams, whatever they may be. Conclusion: the path to excellence is built on effort, reflection, and perseverance. The journey to excellence is not defined by a single achievement or a magical breakthrough. Instead, it is the result of consistent effort, continuous reflection, and the unwavering perseverance to keep moving forward, no matter the challenges. It's easy to become discouraged when the path feels long or when progress seems slow, but it's in these moments that the most important growth occurs. Excellence is built over time, piece by piece, through hard work, reflection on our actions, and the courage to keep going despite setbacks. In order to achieve excellence, we must first recognize that success is not instant. It takes patience, focus, and the willingness to face failure with open arms, using it as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. Reflection allows us to learn from our mistakes, fine-tune our efforts, and adjust our strategies. But it's not enough to simply reflect. We must then act on what we learn. Action, paired with thoughtful reflection, is the combination that propels us forward. Success doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from starting, adapting, and continuously improving. The most profound lesson we can take from this journey is that excellence is not a destination, but a process. It's about becoming the best version of yourself by taking consistent action, learning from your experiences, and embracing every challenge as an opportunity for growth. When you approach life with this mindset, you can achieve greatness in any area, even in circumstances that don't initially inspire you. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. How can you apply this to your life right now? Start by committing to take action today. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Reflect on what you've learned from your past actions and use those lessons to improve. Embrace challenges, knowing that they are the building blocks of your success. And most importantly, don't give up. Keep going, one step at a time. If you're ready to dive deeper into these principles and discover more insights that can help you on your journey to success, join the Success Lesson community. Here, you'll gain access to valuable knowledge, tools, and strategies that will guide you every step of the way. Subscribe to our channel now and become part of a community dedicated to personal growth and achievement. Together, we will continue to inspire and motivate each other to reach new heights. Keep moving forward, stay focused, and never stop learning. Your path to excellence starts now.